We're catching up with the latest from Makoto Shinkai. It is called Suzume. If you have not yet subscribed, you should. It's funny. We just got a request from one of our subscribers just today saying, hey, this is kind of random, but could you please review Suzume? And I'm like, we already are. But when you're a subscriber to us here, I feel like we know you guys, and it's lovely to correspond. And you can always shout out requests, and we do movies like Suzume, and not everyone does. So come join us. We would be honored to have you. Alonso, what is this film about?
後ろ戸からは
すずめ
災いが出てくる。
好きお前は邪魔
So yeah, as you said, this is the latest from Makoto Shinkai, who has made a big footprint in the U.S. with his last couple of films, Your Name and Weathering with You. He has some earlier features that actually recently got put on Blu-ray by Shout Factory, which I still need to catch up on, and I plan to do so because I'm a big fan of what I've seen, including this movie. So Suzume is a student, and she lives in a seaside town with her aunt because her parents have both died in an accident, and she meets a stranger in town who says he's looking for doors in ruins. And this strikes her as kind of fascinating. So she winds up cutting class, going to a local ruin, this bathhouse that people no longer go to, and does indeed find this door that is a portal to another world. And she picks up a statue that turns into a cat and runs off. And suddenly chaos erupts and things are coming out of that door and through the portal, and the guy shows up, and we find out that his job is basically going around and making sure that these portals that are in areas that people have kind of abandoned and no longer go to stay sealed. The cat is a keystone that had been keeping that door shut, and now they have to try and find it and reseal these portals before they threaten to take over all Japan and cause terrible earthquakes. It's hard to talk about what Shinkai movies are about because I realize I sound like a lunatic when I try to explain the plot. It's really almost never about the plot. Right. It's about the characters, and about the characters who find themselves in these otherworldly situations. You know, Your Name is about a teen boy and girl in different cities who find themselves waking up in each other's bodies at random. Weathering with You is about a couple who is in love, and also their relationship controls the weather. You just have to go with it. And
she's literally sunshine.
Exactly. And the way that he creates these worlds, you do. And they're really gorgeous. I love looking at his movies. I think he's very much following in the Studio Ghibli tradition in the way that he captures the countryside and the city and vehicles and all these things with almost sort of photorealistic precision, but at the same time gives you these characters that aren't like cartoony per se, but very expressive and very evocative. And these are haunting love stories. The scores are always great.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm always excited when there's a new Shinkai film opening, and this one is no disappointment.
I love this too because it is so breathtakingly beautiful, and images and the colors are so wondrous. Like that first thing that she sees through the doorway is just totally magical, and yet it's also so tactile that you feel like you too could cross through and enter it, and it would be your reality. The thing with this film, which I think is so true with a lot of Japanese films, a lot of anime films, is it's about trauma, right? It's about the Japanese expression of trauma and getting through it and moving on and hopefully finding some hope. But the places that all of these portals exist are places of devastation, you know, whether it's a natural disaster or just economic woe. And I think that what he does here so well is present in a clear-eyed, no-nonsense way the grief that this country has experienced and continues to, but like also the hope of it. Like the mystical nature of what occurs in each of these places is a fascinating juxtaposition with like the grim reality of what we're seeing here. The visual manifestation of the thing we see through the door is like undeniably phallic. Right. So I wonder how much of it is a condemnation of like man's destruction of the planet, you know?
Maybe, yeah, that's certainly a valid read. I think you're right. Yeah, all of these portals are kind of open wounds in a way, but they are also healable, you know? And so like you're right. There's a lot of there's a whole metaphorical level about this in terms of what is he saying about the things that Japan has abandoned, whether because they had to or because of modernity or whatever else. And, what are we repressing in our own lives versus sort of what is the nation repressing about its own past? Suzume over the course of the film kind of comes to understand things about herself and about her family relationships that she's kind of, held at a distance for a long time. At whatever level you want to take this movie in, it's just so fascinating and so gorgeous.
And tonally, it would seem like a tough balancing act to pull off because it is these big, wondrous set pieces and it is supernatural the way so much anime is. And then it's also incredibly silly. Right. It's really funny at times and really weird at times. The whole thing with the cat is like hilarious and also kind of terrifying. Is you think it's a cute little kitty, but maybe there's more going on here. And there's, everyone she meets along the way, cause she's visiting different places. They are helpful or they provide comic relief or they provide her a closer glimpse at her destiny or what she's meant to achieve here. There's a shot, you mentioned the photorealism of it. There's a shot where people are driving in a convertible that I thought was absolutely real. Like the sunlight, the way the sunlight glistens on the grass, like it's so beautiful and such a cool combination of stuff. And then after all of the silliness and all of the melodrama and all the adventures, at the end, it takes this moment to just be quiet. And it's so unexpectedly emotional. I was totally crying watching it. It was like, wow, like how did we get here from the journey we came through? Now we're here and it feels so real and so potent.
That's the thing. The way this guy tells stories, it's like, I have a hard time talking about them afterwards just because they operate in this own, it's not dream logic exactly, but he sets up this premise and then just kind of keeps expanding it outward. And you're like, okay, I follow it from A to B to C, but at some point you're at like M and you're looking back at A and like, wait, I guess we got here, but what? No, it's gorgeous. And if you are an anime fan, like there are some direct shout outs, there's at one point there's an earthquake in the Miyazaki province, which actually is a prefecture, I think. But there's a character on Instagram who sees the cat and makes a reference to Whispers of the Heart. So
there you go. This is in theaters and it is in Japanese with subtitles, but there's also a dub. I saw it in Japanese with subtitles.
Same here. I'm not snotty about that. I know there are anime fans who insist on, the OG, but like, look, all animation is dubbed, y'all. I hate to break it to you. So, it's a question of how good or not good the dubbing cast is, but whichever you prefer, those options are out there. Crunchyroll has this out in theaters. Then if it's not near you, it will be, I'm sure, available streaming and on physical media soon enough. This guy, he is kind of one of the few brand names in anime that has gone beyond just like, your hardcore Naruto fans or whatever. Like the fancy art house folks like you and me know who this guy is.
Yes. So what's your number?
I'm saying 8.8. I went up in our talking about it. I liked it even more.
Okay. I will say 8.7.
Okay.
Totally arbitrary. But very much worth seeing. So if it's a theater near you, subtitled or dubbed, go check it out.